So Green Bay and Philly was kind of another one of these slower games. Again, Philadelphia has probably the best defense in the league. They got a bunch of UGA kids on the defense. What do you know? And so they've been playing lights out all season, right? Then you had your offensive line dominating early. Saquon Barkley, he's new to all this, right? Having a great offensive line, having holes to run through. I remember the announcer talking about how he didn't really understand, or he was kind of new to that. Like he wasn't used to having such large holes to run through. And you definitely saw it yesterday, man. Like he was gashing them early on. And I think, Jalen Hurts made a few plays when he needed to in the past game when they had to go to it. And that's kind of what ended up happening here. Obviously, you had the 3 picks from Jordan Love. That definitely didn't help. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, though, right? I want to see some of these teams play some offenses that'll make them pay when they go on these 3 and outs, when they go on these long droughts, right? The score was 10-0 for the majority of the game, right? Jordan Love has 2 picks for that majority for the first second quarter. Those 2 picks, the Packers don't capitalize on anything. They're not making them pay on offense, right? So, and it's tough to make this Philly defense pay. But in the first half, Jalen Hurts goes 6 of 13 for 39 yards and the 1 touchdown that they got off of the fumble kickoff. Other than that, it was all Saquon Barkley for the first half, right? So, again, I want to see what this Philly team looks like and also this Ravens team. I want to see what they look like when they're playing an offense that is going to make them pay when their offense slows down and gets into these lulls, right? Because again, like I say, the whole thing with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, it's mind-boggling. It's honestly confusing at this point. Take a look at this.
I think you said the book was Inner Excellence. Have you seen AJ read on the sideline during the games, and what goes through your mind when you see that? How do you think it's
I've never seen him read. I've seen the book in his hands. Everybody has a different thing and finds their flow in different ways. So that's how he chooses to do it.
Now we've seen their drama play out on TV, right? We've seen the last time they asked about passing and y'all figure it out and da-da-da-da-da. And it's still the same way, right? The passing game is extremely lacking. I think A.J. Brown had 1 catch for 10 yards for the majority of the game last night. I don't know if he got another catch at some point, but I know for the majority of the game he had 1 catch for 10 yards, right? And so, I don't really understand what's going on with the passing game. If you ask me, while Jalen Hurts on the post game talking about folks reading, it sounds like somebody else got a reading problem, if you ask me. But I'm not going to go there. What I will say is that, again, I want to see how this all looks when someone can score points on the other side of the football, right? Again, you can stop the running game all day long. And obviously they came up clutch, right? Darius Slay comes up clutch with the interception. Jordan Love just kind of made some bad decisions. A lot of, obviously me being an Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre guy, a lot of the Packers offense is based on quarterbacks being extremely accurate, right? Honestly, this was like a point for a different video. But if you notice Devontae Adams in New York, and you see how he doesn't really get separation from a lot of people, and it's not the same as it used to look in Green Bay. And that's mainly because Aaron Rodgers isn't 100% fucking pinpoint accurate on every throw. This is kind of what's going on here, right? So when you see some of these lower tier receivers that can't make contested catches, just know that that's pretty much how Green Bay has gotten by for the last 10, 20, my entire life. I'm 33, right? So they've gotten by doing that for a long time now. And then you get Jordan Love with the injury to the elbow. He's got some nerve damage, things of that nature. So now some of the throws aren't as accurate. And then you see a lot of broken up plays, broken up passes, things of that nature, right? So I say that to say that when we get a true offense in here, like a Minnesota, even like the Rams, if the Rams happen to win and come up there, the Commanders as well, all right? We know Jaden Daniels is extremely dangerous in multiple ways. He's a very accurate quarterback, and he can make you pay on the ground. All right, we know Sam Darnold's a very accurate quarterback. We know Justin Jefferson is an all-around playmaker. We know the Rams have Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. So these are all offenses that can, and Detroit as well. I'm almost forgetting Detroit, but that's not a next round kind of matchup for them. But what I'm saying is that one of these three offenses, we still got to see from tonight's game, one of these three offenses is going to be able to put points on the board. Okay, you're not going to have it 10-0 for 3 quarters with these next few games, right? So can they get that offense going? Can they get chunk plays that aren't Saquon Barkley breaking for 30? Can they get some of those long passes from Devontae Smith, from A.J. Brown, right? You got players out there. You saw Dallas Goedert with the grown man touchdown out there. It's not like you don't have pass catchers, right? And you have the best offensive line in the league, literally. So I don't understand what's going on with the pass game and what's going on with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. And, Devontae Smith is a quiet kid, but I'm sure he has his opinions as well, right? So, again, they got to figure that out because, I kind of spoke on this in terms of talking about Lamar Jackson, right, is that you're at a point now to where, again, it's win or go home. Every play counts, right? So, again, some of these drives where you go 3 and out based on an errant pass or you can't find somebody open, like those kind of plays are going to come back to bite you in the ass over these next 2 games. If they make it past the next 2 games, right? I'll say it for the next game. So they got to figure out a way to get that settled. Sirianni's going to have to find ways to, I don't know, like get Jalen Hurts more comfortable early in the game maybe. Kind of get A.J. Brown some screen passes, things of that nature to get him into the game. I'm not sure what they need to do, but they need to figure it out because I don't necessarily know if Saquon Barkley can run you to the Super Bowl, right? And even if he does run you to the Super Bowl, I don't know if he can win you the Super Bowl, with 150 yards, all that kind of crazy shit, all purpose and da-da-da-da-da. Right? I think that if they get into a matchup where they need to put points on the board, that's what it's going to take. A Herculean effort from Saquon Barkley because his pass game just looks non-existent at this point. So definitely looking forward to that, man. We'll see how they figure that out, and we'll see who their opponent is after tonight's game as well.
Surgeon Sports Network.